I'd just like to welcome everyone along to our September meeting, and I must ask everyone to stand for the deaths of the members of the Maniototo Community, as in Sue McEwen, Alan Reid, Robin Moore, Barry Becker, Ian Coombs, Gay Shee, and also Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II. Thank you very much. Apologies. None. No apologies. I don't even need to move in a second. That's too better. Public forum. Marilyn Devereaux. Mary. My apologies.
It's not public sector.
I'm good at apologising.
So can I stand here?
I'll just have a seat if you like.
Good afternoon. So my name is Mary Devereaux and I'm speaking on behalf of the Maniototo Early Settlers Association. I've been the curator for 5 years now. The last have been quite difficult, working around the COVID outbreak and keeping our more mature volunteers away from exposure. I reduced the opening hours, but have managed to open most advertised days myself with volunteers who are happy to continue. The grant we received from the Community Board covers our annual overheads, leaving us free to apply for further grants for various projects. Our achievements with the help of grants during these difficult times include refreshing the paint on both buildings and some much needed maintenance. Also, new sign writing has raised the profile and the precinct looks smart and ready for the next season. I do hope you will have some time to come and check it out. Images on our 4 early settlers building windows have been a great success, achieved with the Helping Hands grant from Te Papa. We have another 3 windows on the south side to do, which will showcase other Maniototo villages. We also have secured a grant from Trustpower Community Grants, which will be used to upgrade our archives and give the Mount Ida Chronicle files a more healthy environment, along with other valuable archives in the collection. Hopefully, this will be part completed by the summer season. We also have been offered by the CODC and accepted another Eden Hall photographic exhibition for the Christmas period. Thank you for your support in all the previous years, and I do hope you come and have a wee look at your museum. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mary Ann. I have someone confirm the minutes of the previous record as a true and correct record, please. Sue Duncan. Sue Anders, seconded. All those in favour? Aye. Against? Gary, thank you. Remind members if they feel they have a conflict of interest in anything that we've discussed today, please tell us. Community and promotion grants. Ali. Rebecca.
Running out of the room. Oh, good afternoon. So we've had the community grants and promotional grants were open and closed at the end of July, and we got 2 applications, one for the museum that you've just heard from and the other from the information centre. The information centre grant could fit in either camp, and so we thought for this round that we'd put it in promotions, but it is one of the few that you have got some flexibility, and if you think it's better, fit it in the community grants to do that. The application from the museum, they've just requested the same as that they've had in previous years, and there's no issues with their application, so I've recommended that you fund the full amount. With that, you will have, if you approve that, then you'll have 6,700 for the second round, and the closing date for that will be March, about the 19th of March, for a decision in May next year by the new board. So that's all I have to say about mine.
Thanks, Rebecca. Nasby Information and Craft last, it's a typo on my report, got a graft, not a craft. The board increased their funding last year to $4,000. So it has come forward. If it does stay within the promotion space, that would leave you $1,000 for any future applications in this next funding round. But it does mean that we can still, going forward in different years, look at how best to fit that within either promotions or community. I've had a good discussion with Shirley at the Ranfurly eyesight, and she's intending to work very closely with the team up there to make sure they've got all the information they need for the coming summer, which is really good to hear. Nice to see that relationship building happening. And that would be all.
The only other thing I've added is we had a community funding clinic here in Ranfurly in this very room, actually either last week or the week before last, and that's with the Otago Community Trust, the Maniototo Community Trust, the gaming Aotearoa Gaming Trust. I think that might have been Sport Otago, and we had a full room, so there was about 17 or 18 people from the community here, which was great to see. So good turnout from the local community, all different sorts of things, like Nasby Bowling Club was here, the school was here, and others, just about projects that they're keen to get some funding support either from council, from those gaming trusts or community trusts. So that was really good. And great turnout. You had better turnout here than we had in Cromwell.
That's good. Can we meet the members there? I'll try to get
Lindley was here, but she was here on behalf of the Nasby Bowling Club.
Didn't make it on the cross future. But it went all right. So
Yeah, it was really good.
Because there has been a confusion about what the trusts are in.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, who can apply for what and
Yeah.
where.
So that was it was a really good overview about which, all of that.
Anything else, anyone? Sue?
No.
Mark? We need someone to move.
So the resolution, have I assumed the resolution through?
No, I'm just writing it up now.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
So it will be agrees to allocate $8,300 to the Maniototo Early Settlers Association Incorporated for annual operating costs. And then the second one will be agrees to allocate $4,000 to Nasby Information and Craft Incorporated for annual expenses.
And that's all about something we did earlier on, Putin.
No, you've only got 5
So when's the next round?
March.
We'll close in March and it will get in front of you in May. For future years, we can, if that application comes in and then Ellie's got other applications, then we can move it over to March.
Early Ann's gone.
No.
Well, no, because if we don't have the grants, we
I
can't
wouldn't go to
apply for the grants.
copies.
Right.
I just keep getting this excluded when I close one.
Yeah, that's right. The one that says
I'm happy with that.
that's the one you
I'll
want.
move that.
And a second, please. Thank you, Neil. All those in favour? Aye, against? Carried, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, can we just take this time to wish you all the best, Sue? And thank you for your service, and it's been great. And we look forward to working with the new board in its new form. And thanks, Sue.
Doesn't change much. What, we've just lost all of something here there?
I think we've got last 6 months.
No, technology, you're, she's going. No, what's the technology look like in 6 months?
Last one. Yeah, this. It's probably me. I hate computers and they hate me.
That's what I just had. And then, that's it. That's
Look at that. Thank you very much. What is up to? Financial report. Donna. How are you? All good, Uncle?
Being read. These are the interim financials as at 30 June 2022. We are still awaiting our final audit for this financial year, so there may be some changes to these financials as a result. We are expecting no changes, but so the key highlights are that there was an overall favourable operating variance of 257,000 against the revised budget. The revenue had a favourable variance of 22,000. This is mainly due to higher than expected rates. And with that, you have a differentiation between when the rates were adopted as part of the annual plan and also when they're set at 1 July. There can be some valuation changes or some changes to the actual property title. So expenditure has a favourable variance of $235,000. Depreciation has a favourable variance. This is mainly due to parks and reserves, which is a variance of $111,000. Other costs, contracts and professional fees are also higher than budget. The main contributor here is the professional fees variance. This is due to the timing of the engineering fees, which is detailed seismic assessments. This budget will be carried forward into the new financial year, I believe. Capital expenditure has a favourable variance of $122,000. The main drivers behind this is the timing of the Naseby Flying Fox project and also the procurement plan for the John Street Playground project. Any other questions?
You not happy? Straightforward.
Gonna do what that flying fox costs the council, right? It's like they're in Portugal, you know. No, no,
Well,
not. Oh. Have you had a go at it soon?
you have to have legs that are.
Oh, no, the whole lot. It's quite good.
Uh,
I better too.
it was quite, they've tightened up the cable.
Hey?
It's pretty,
You'd be all right with short legs.
it's a bit, it's actually.
I'm not all right. I ain't got kids.
No, simple and
Yeah,
low.
really.
It would have been cheap.
Cut it out.
No,
No, it looks well done.
COVID-19, Ministry of Health outlined a series of measures to prevent the virus, hence the low death rate. Has it changed?
No, so the health and safety measures that the council have brought in is mainly just to reduce, well, there's also staffing as well. So with COVID-19 restrictions, you have to have more staff on to assist with those additional.
Yeah, but the 10,000 variance is favourable for the cemeteries. Like I mean, it's like the same, has our death rate reduced over the COVID period?
I'm afraid it might just be the burns or some work that they're doing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
So I move that report, please.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Stuart Duncan, seconder. Mark Harris. All those in favour? Aye. Against? Carried, thank you. See you, Rebecca. Thanks very much. No mayor for an mayor report? That's all right. Hey, that's right, must be quick. So yeah, I went up to had a look at the Naseby playground, looks very good. Unfortunately, they were sterilising it when there was about an inch of rain, so they weren't having much of a day. I just kept on going with it, but it's all a good job. I've got a question, Quinn might be able to answer it. Around the towns of Naseby and Anfield, all the grills are put over the pipes. If you get a photo of one, I can show you. Who meant to clean them out? Who would done that?
Stormwater.
Pardon?
Just the stormwater drains.
Yeah, stormwater drains. Like in Naseby, they put one at each end of the pipe. Right, in and out. So all the stuff gets caught on the inside of the outlet grill. You see people going down there with sticks poking all the leaves now. I just know who's meant to do that.
It'd be a roadie piece, so I'll add it, put a service request in.
Yeah, well, there's the one down here at the stadium. I've done it a couple of times. It just gets filled up
Does quickly.
very quickly. Yeah. Just down there past John Stringer's place.
Yeah.
But you notice the people in Naseby, kids get down there and poking sticks in them, and trying to free them. They have a bit of fun doing it. And at the same time, I was looking there, like, got accosted by a person about a house in Naseby that's been put in. You've seen it, there's a transportable house being put on the main street, a white one. Do you know anything about it?
I do.
Is there anyone?
Yes, we're looking into that issue. And it would appear there has been no resource consent for it. So there's been a building consent, but it needs resource consent because it's in the heritage precinct. So we've contacted the owners and started a conversation.
Okay, yeah, they said to me about it and I said, well, I don't know anything about it, unfortunately, and I'd bring it up. But they hadn't talked to the council at this stage. But it's
So is that neighbours or the owners of the building?
neighbours.
Neighbours. So the neighbours have contacted us and we've followed up, and that's what we have found.
So I don't mean to, how do they manage to put a building down without a consent?
So they've got a building consent,
Yeah,
but what happens is when building consents come in, a staff member checks it off to see if it needs resource consent, and clearly there's dozens of these,
Yep.
and that particular element was missed, unfortunately. And now we've ended up with a unconsented house, so we're going to have to work through what that means. We've notified our insurers, and so probably best not to discuss it any wider than we're looking into it, because we may end up in a legal claim against council.
so where does the heritage precinct start and finish?
Gee, sure, we've got some paper plating mix. I can go and grab
Yep,
them.
that'd be quite good. 'Cause-
Oh, thanks, Janice.
Isn't that great big black garage?
Yep. Well, it's just down the road from there, like 150 metres. And
Okay, so we'll have a look at the boundaries of the heritage precinct,
Yeah.
and you can show me where that is, and we'll check that as well.
I'll send you some photos, because I had the person standing there and I saw, there's this one here, because if you know where the old Naseby headquarters are, Stu, in there, and
Yeah.
it's right there. But then on the other side of the road is the corrugated iron house. That's in the heritage area too, but unless it was built before it became a heritage
The
area.
corrugated iron house has been there for
For
a
a long
while.
time.
Yeah, it's been there for a while.
Yeah, and we've had some
It's
discussion
been
around
there
that.
a
I
long
think
time.
that was legally authorised.
So it'd be
Page
10,
28, I think.
Yeah.
That's one at the bottom side. of it.
22.
Yeah. and you go down that road a little bit and there's a big brand new shed being built.
It's massive black
And,
corrugated iron.
I can be up there in the daylight. Well,
You probably shouldn't say that.
Really,
Really.
it's like,
And
So,
I remember seeing the new house, I'm not there in the morning. Well,
is it in the middle bit or along Derwent Street?
Wow.
So this is Derwent Street, coming in here, Ern Street, so that's where the Royal Hotel is, I'm guessing.
so the white place is about here somewhere.
Okay, that is in the Heritage Precinct,
Yeah.
that's the dotted line.
And there's one there.
Yeah, that's the corrugated iron one.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the-
so I
and
think
the-
that was lawfully established, but everyone hates it.
Yeah. So I said, well, it depends when the heritage area has been done. I said,
And yeah, and I can't remember the exact timing of that, but I remember a discussion some years ago.
there's one just in here. So it's not in the heritage area, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, no, over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That's all right.
that's, yeah,
Yeah,
so
just-
that's, well, we're looking into the white one,
Okay.
and,
That's all right.
and, yeah, well, do what we need to do.
Mark will talk about the Petaroa School and that one, so you went out to that meeting.
Talk about that.
Oh, you can bring it up.
Oh, it's been speaking out there. And, James can explain more about it probably later on.
Right.
Just a few things I want done. I want to carry on with it, don't I?
It's all right. And that's about me.
I'm very quiet.
Working too hard, Stu, haven't we? No, it's all right. I'll just move that report.
I'll see that.
Second, all those in favour? All right, against? Very good. Members. Sue,
I've got a few little things down here. The C19 plan change was quite an interesting exercise. Got a letter in the mail saying that all these types of property, the zoning's going to be changed to light residential and medium, whatever. And quite a few people got them. And so I went online and looked up down the map. Couldn't see anything that looked like anything was outlined or whatever. Then I had a few people ring me up and asked me, and my neighbour down the paddock wanted to know about it. So I rang up the lady in Rogers, I think it is, and she was unavailable. And I left a message and she never rang back. And I rang again, and I got another lady, and things just got worse. She said, "Oh, I'll see if I can help you." And she said, "Oh no, yes. There's plan changes there. Can't you see it on the map?" "No, I can't." "Well, it's there." And I said, "Well, does that mean anything that's rural residential is now going to be light? Building, whatever it's called." And she said, "Yes, and it's affecting everyone, and you need to go to the Cromwell meeting if you want to know more." And I said, "Well, it's not very long before, to put submissions in." And so anyway, so then I rang you, and then it was like at the end of the week. Then the only person that knew seemed to know what was going on was the mayor, because I emailed him, and he came back and said, actually, Grenfell, this Maniototo wasn't affected at all. Because I remember him sitting there and he said, the zoning's going to change and we need to think about where the town needs to expand. And I thought, oh, I must have missed it. And I thought, no, I haven't missed any meetings. So I can't quite see, even though now I know it's not us, how you can rezone land in a district, but only do 2/3 of the